Let's get into some of the gaslighting because I think it's been like 3 weeks since KJP has held a presser. She finally returned to the podium yesterday and she was big mad, you guys. She's so mad because the reporters are actually half doing their job by saying, "Hey, there's a lot of hullabaloo about how demented the president is. What do you have to say for that?" She is not having it. And the gaslighting from her podium is extraordinary. So she is calling these videos that we've seen with our own eyes and ears cheap fakes. This is their new
Unbelievable.
line. Not deep fakes, although sometimes she uses that term too. Cheap fakes. Here she is addressing one reporter's direct question.
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. And I'll quote the Washington Post, where they wrote about this, and they said how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. And to their credit, we have a conservative Washington Examiner did call them out as well, calling out the New York Post. Ironically, several recent cheap fakes actually attacked the president for thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy, this happened, and again in Italy. And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes. These manipulated videos, and it is again done in bad faith.
Also, speaking of believing what you can see with your own eyes, have you considered trying Healthy Cells Eye Health? Because
transition.
thanks.
God, that was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
They have brand new packaging, which is super modern and cool. And listen, we all, I can't speak for all of us, but I know you and I spend lots and lots of time in front of screens.
Yes.
And that can take a toll on your eyes. You can get eye strain, eye tiredness. And this stuff is chock full of things that are amazing for retinal health, supporting vision, eye functions. It includes stuff like carotenoids. Am I saying that right?
I think carotenoids is right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nutrients like lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin A, vitamin E, all of these things help keep your vision sharp and your eyes healthy. And look, it would take you this many pills to get all the stuff that is in this one gel pack that you can eat straight out of this pack. And it's like the blood orange flavor.
I think that's my favorite flavor.
So good.
So good.
So good. So if you are a person who spends a lot of time in front of screens, and if you're just noticing that your eyes are tired at the end of the day, that you're having strain, this is your key to getting and restoring your eyes back to their healthy state. It's just one of the many gel packs that Healthy Cell offers for whatever your supplement needs might be. This is a fantastic one. Treat yourself to a delicious gel pack, and you're going to get you're going to get better benefits from it. You can also get 20% off your first order at healthycell.com/chicks.
The propaganda is off the charts. That's precisely what this is. It's like they all got their marching orders and they're like, okay, so many of these videos are coming out now, like, because it's actual footage of him.
Yeah.
And so how are we going to combat that? We're going to say that they're fake. Okay, everybody, and go. Don't you think the timing of it? Everybody's doing it at the same time. And we've seen this before. This is what they do. They do it in concert. And so this is what it's obvious to anybody with half a brain. This is pure propaganda bullcrap is what it is. Oh
It's
my
them
God.
telling you not to believe your own senses.
Don't
Okay?
believe what you actually see on the screen, everybody. Don't believe it. Don't be Wow.
I know. So another reporter tried to push back and say, "Listen, I mean, there was the video like where you're seeing other leaders, Maloney, Obama, having to physically lead him places.
Yeah.
How do you address that?" And she she goes into some big giant tale about how Obama and Biden are BFFs.
Yeah.
So of course
Uh-huh.
that's how you're going to behave. I
That's a
always lead you out of
I
places,
know.
don't I?
I lead you out of places too. I mean, it's like, yeah, you and I do this with each other all the time. All the time.
So get ready, brace yourself for some more gaslighting. Here we go.
On the video you
Sure.
were talking about,
Yeah.
there were 2 instances in recent days where leaders, former President Obama and Georgia Maloney of Italy, they physically put hands on the president to guide him and show him, give stage directions. Are they doing that on their own, or has anybody asked them to
Look,
run the show like that?
First of all, let me spoke to the most recent, right? And as we saw on Saturday, President Obama's office put out a statement. So I would refer you to that statement about what was being accused in those by others. And he said this did not happen in the sense of what people were saying they
Okay.
were seeing, right?
Whatever.
Or what was being falsely reported that they were seeing. Let's not forget, President Obama, President Biden have a relationship. They are friends. They're like family to each other. And I think that's what you saw. You saw the president put his hand on the back of President Biden, and they walked off the stage after taking questions or at an event taking questions from Jimmy Kimmel. That is what you saw.
Yeah.
But I would refer you to President Obama's office statement. They talked about this, they discussed this, and they came out with it pretty quickly.
Maloney?
All right.
You wanted to say something about
Maloney, I don't have anything. I don't know specifically what happened with Maloney.
the wandering, the parachutist, etc.?
Oh, I mean, look, that was, as I said, it was a cheap, a cheap fake. That was definitely a cheap fake. It was.
God.
This was widely fact-checked. That video was widely fact-checked,
Okay.
including by conservative media, on what happened, what occurred. The president walked over to give a thumbs up to divers who had just landed right in front of him. And if you run that tape a little bit longer, you would see what was happening, what the president was actually doing, and it is a cheap fake.
Okay, yeah, cheap fake. You know what? I lead my dogs and my cows. I don't lead Miriam. Yeah. That's not how it
Unless
works.
there's been a lot to drink. And even then.
That's true. Unless we're in Vegas. And then sometimes I have to lead her into a cab. That's true. But other than that, you lead animals around, you know? This is all such crazy gaslighting. It's just nuts how they're doing this now. Like all of a sudden they're doing this. Isn't it crazy? When we've seen footage after footage after footage of this guy just with gaffe after gaffe after gaffe and doing things that old men do, like old men with dementia do, whose families don't love them, obviously.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and so CNBC, you're going to see the before and after. You're going to see the video that those evil Republicans put out, and then you're going to see the real video that the White House believes is so vastly different that it completely changes the story. Again, I look at them and I'm like,
Where's
it's
the difference?
same.
Right.
It's the same thing. I don't understand. I mean, maybe the angle is slightly different, but the story is the same. He's an idiot. Okay. He's a lost idiot who has to be dragged back to what he's supposed to be doing. There's no getting around that. And here's CNBC to try to convince you you're not seeing what you're actually seeing.
Camp, let's show the first video of President Biden from the G7 summit recently that was making the rounds. And then we can show the actual video from President Biden in that same moment. Here's the first one where it appears to show him kind of wandering off, as you can see, generating tons of headlines and reaction to what exactly had happened in this moment. And there's the French or Italian leader trying to bring him back. Then we can also show the video of what that looked like in real time. And here's the actual video where you see from a different angle kind of what was going on, a little bit more context around the situation and so forth.
They're cheap fake.
It's the same.
Oh my God, there is zero difference. In fact, you just saw a wider angle of more people saying, "What the F is he doing?"
I mean,
You just saw
what is happening?
We just saw more people that were appalled at his behavior. The exact same. What is even happening? What is
Okay, so I'm not crazy because
my
I was
God,
like,
no,
what
you're
is
not.
he doing? What
They're-
is happening?
But they're trying to make us feel crazy, is what they're trying
Yeah.
to do. They're trying to make everybody feel crazy. You're not crazy. He is.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God. God.
So-
I feel
so
like, you know what I feel like I'm doing? I feel like I'm dealing with my family. I don't know if you guys come from a dysfunctional family. I do. This is what it's like dealing with my family. I swear to God, like it's unbelievable. Like the amount of gaslighting and bullshit. Stop it. Stop. It's like
like
lot
we're
of us,
on to you. Okay,
like
we get
know. It's like a lot of us have dealt with this. It's like just stop. I know what this
Mhm.
is all about. So just don't try to gaslight me because I know what this is. So just go away. Honestly.
James Rosen.
Okay.
He also attempts to say, all right, we get that you're like big mad about all this, but a whole bunch of people are concerned about his age and these constant gaffes. So, like, what do you have to say to make people feel at ease? Here's how that goes.
Who are telling pollsters repeatedly for years now that they have serious concerns about this president's cognitive fitness are being misled by cheap fake videos? Is that
I'm
what you're
saying
telling
that
us?
there have been, in recent weeks, there have been cheap fakes videos that have been fact-checked. They've been fact-checked by conservative media as well, to say that these videos are false.
Oh my
They're
God, she's
purposefully
lying.
being altered.
So he's
That
fine.
is,
So he's
that
fine.
is, look,
He's fine.
Wow.
the president has done more in his 3.5 years as president than most modern day president.
Yeah. To ruin the country.
Yeah, so let me just, because I cut the video right here because she started then, as soon as she said that he's done more in these 3.5 years, she went on for like 5 minutes listing all of his accomplishments, like, you know, the Inflation Reduction Act to fight climate change, all this other nonsense. Okay. I cut that out because like nobody needs to hear her say that again. And then this is where she picks up.
Tells you everything that you need to do by looking at his record. And what you're seeing right now is Republicans, instead of talking what I just listed about, what I just talked about, they're really diving into these cheap fake videos. And it's in bad faith. That's what I'm saying. What they're doing is pure bad faith. And it's been fact-checked by many, including conservative fact-checkers. I got to say.
Who are the conservative fact checkers that have
She listed
fact-checked
the
these things?
Washington Examiner, but I haven't looked to see what they've said about all the cheap fakes. If they're saying anything other than this is crazy talk, because these all these videos are the same, I don't even know what they're doing.
This is the thing. We can see what he does with our eyes. I'm so sick. Oh my God. It's so obvious what they're doing.
Right?
They're panicking is what they're doing. They're panicking.
Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, because and this was the dumbest decision from a PR, from a communication standpoint.
Really.
Deciding to say that these are fake videos is
Mhm.
the dumbest decision.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have chosen any other tactic in the world and it would have been
Better than
somewhat
this.
better.
Yeah. Because what it does is it puts them on the defense now because they're lying again.
Right.
They're